So you want to be the top ranking Jett main that gets the attention from all the e-girls? Well, look no further, bro. I got you. This guide covers everything you need to know from scratch, as well as some advanced tips from a Moto 3 Jett main. Before we start this video, this week's best comment goes to this guy. Thank you for the kind words, bro. Let's hop right into the video with the basics. The very first thing that you need to know is that Jett's kit is all about mobility. She's a speedy girl. This pretty much means that her kit allows you to enter site really easily. So it's your job as a Jett player to go in first and help your team get onto site by clearing commonly held angles. Jett has 5 different abilities that makes Jett unique. Let's quickly cover them all. And we're starting off with her C ability, her Cloudburst. Her Cloudburst is a throwable smoke that lasts 4.5 seconds. You can use this smoke to block enemies' vision, but you can also use this smoke as an escape for yourself to get out of tough situations. To put it in perspective, you're kind of like a ninja throwing smoke bombs. Here are 3 quick Cloudburst tips. You can sort of bend the smoke to land it wherever you want. You can also use Jett smoke to get a half defuse off for you or your teammates. A half defuse takes 4 seconds and Jett smoke lasts 4.5 seconds. And for my last tip is that you can use Jett smoke for a temporarily one-way. One-ways are even scarier to push through than regular Jett smoke, so I better see you use this in your next competitive match. Now over to her second ability, her Updraft. This ability pretty much makes you jump very high. This is most often used to reposition yourself to get the high ground. We call this an off angle. You can also use the updraft to gather information for your team on certain areas of some maps, like shown in these clips. Quick little warning guys, if you see a Jett on the enemy team, it's best to check every single angle while entering a site because you never know what she might be holding you from. Now off to her most iconic ability, her dash. This ability should mainly be used to enter a site, escape from certain situations, or for information. After pressing your E button once, you charge up her dash and then you have 12 seconds to press it again and actually dash. If the timer runs out, you can't dash anymore. 2 quick tips. If you want to dash a little bit further than usual, jump right before you dash to cover more ground. You can also combine this ability with your updraft, so you can dash a short distance and then go up while doing so. Quick little disclaimer, use this ability wisely. You only get it once per round except if you get 2 kills, then it resets and you get another dash. Her ult gives you 5 knives that deal 42 damage to the legs, 50 damage to the body, and 150 damage to the head, one-shotting any opponent. It also doesn't slow you down like a regular gun would and is always 100% accurate, even while jumping and running. Every time you get a kill with Jett's daggers, you get all 5 of them back, except if you right-click your daggers. When you right-click your knives as Jett, you throw all of them at once. However, these do not reset after you get a kill, so only use this if you have no other option. Jett also has a secret ability that no other agent in the game has, her passive ability. This ability is triggered by holding the spacebar while in the air. It allows you to glide down and not take fall damage, which you know, makes sense because she can get really high up. You may think, it's just a glide, why is this so important? Well, it allows for kills like these.
Hey Silent, shouldn't you show these kids how to entry? And make sure to subscribe to Silent, or I'll eat your cookies.
Alright, Brimstone, calm down. Here's how to do it. Ideally, you want to have your smokers smoke off what they can to get control over sight. And then you want to throw a pocket smoke and check an angle while you dash in. When you're in the smoke, you want to have your flash back sight, and then you can swing out of the smoke and get some free picks. And now, for the part that everyone's been waiting for, my 10 best tips as an Moto 3 Jett main. For tip number 1, you can use your Cloudburst to smoke off enemy util like a chamber trip or a killjoy turret, so it doesn't detect you or your teammate. This is extra useful if you want to be a rat and lurk, which I do not condone by the way, but hey, I can't stop you. Number 2 is going to be important, so buckle up. Try to use a gun with a one-shot potential, like a Vandal, Marshal, Sheriff, Operator, whatever you want. These are crucial on Jett because you're going to be in and out of battles a lot. My number 3 tip on Jett is if you manage to win pistol round, always buy a Marshal. There's almost no risk for you because you have your dash, and if they didn't buy shield, which 90% of the times they shouldn't, they're literally a one-shot. Your Marshal is pretty much an operator. And we just can't forget about our number 4 tip. You almost always want to have a shorty as your secondary item, especially while buying snipers. If you miss your shots and the enemy is getting close, you can pop your smoke and play in and out of them for some very solid kills. Tip number 5 is very simple, but I don't see a lot of low elo players do it enough. I just can't stress it enough. When you're dashing onto site, you have to check at least one side before entering your smoke. It is your job as Jett to clear common angles and make space for your team. Tip number 6 is for my confident players out there. If you have info on the enemy and they're not too far away, you can use Jett smokes to close the distance and get the kill. Your smoke lasts a decent amount of time and you have 2 of them, so you can easily catch your enemies off guard here and there. And tip number 7 will save you some money. You should mainly use your ult on an eco to save yourself some money, or if you want to be a nice guy, you can buy your teammate, but you know, we're Jett mains, we don't really do that. It's pretty much a free overpowered weapon you get. Tip number 8 is really simple, but trust me, you should do it more. It is perfectly fine for you to use an updraft to jump over enemies' abilities, like a Cypher Trip or a Sage Wall. Especially in clutch rounds when you have to do something crazy to win the round. Tip number 9 is by far the most nerdy one, but hey, it's a pretty cool mechanic. If you smoke right before pulling out your gun, it draws faster than regularly pulling out your gun. If you're in a tough spot and you need to switch to your sidearm, this can be really handy. Cause trust me, every millisecond matters, is what my ex said. But hey, for my last tip, is if you really want to climb, you have to abuse the operator. Jett alongside Chamber are the best agents to abuse this gun with. It's a one shot, one kill, and if you don't forget to buy a shorty as your secondary item, you're practically unkillable. And hey, if you learned something new, drop a sub. I'm trying to hit 100k before the end of the year. Now over to Jett's counters and who Jett counters. What you really need to know is that Jett only has one counter and it's KO. I literally have PTSD from that dude. With not only one, but 2 of his abilities, he can dismantle Jett's kit entirely. If he ults or knifes you while you ult, or activate your dash, you can't use him anymore. He is such a pain to play against, so be aware. Now over to who Jett counters. And hey, this is just my opinion, but I have a really easy time playing against Raze. Jett counters Raze's entire kit with just her dash. Oh, you wanna try to nade me? Dash. Oh, you wanna try to ult me? Dash. Aw, look at that cute little boombot. Dash. It is really that simple, guys. Random quiz. To make sure you guys all paid attention, I have 3 questions for you. Comment how many you got right. Question number 1. What is the name of Jett's ult? Is it A, Blade Rush, B, Hurricane, or C, Blade Storm? I'll give you 5 seconds to answer. Damn, you actually got it right. It's C, Blade Storm. But I doubt you get this question right. How many seconds does Jett smoke last? Is it A, 4 seconds, B, 4.5 seconds, or C, 5 seconds? Again, you only get 5 seconds, buddy. You're right, it's B. You probably guessed that one anyway. Now, for our final question, the most impossible one. A question that Tenz himself cannot even answer. Why haven't you smashed that subscribe button yet?